Well, we're right back at you again at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on a Friday night. My name is Johnny Bottles. Welcome to the Square Circle Maniacs Pro Wrestling Podcast, right here on the Square Circle Maniacs YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe and give us a little ring on that notification bell down below so you know when we're going to have pop-up podcasts. They do pop up much like a Kendrick Lamar concert. To my left is Dr. Don Wayne, the neckbeard psychologist from the Twitterverse. Don't let it out that he's here. They're going to storm that chat. He's right there. Dr. Don Wayne, everybody. What do we got first, Don?
Thanks for watching. Please stay safe out there. It's hot as balls across most of the country. I have no need to go outside this weekend. I have no desire to go outside. I'm staying in Bottles. I don't know about you. Hope I'm coming through loud and clear. And it's
hot here, Don. Very hot here. We had sunspots, a comet, a flaming meteor fell out of the sky, landed in my neighbor's backyard. It's hotter than Hades out here. I saw a kid walking his dog down the street. The dog had a forked tail and horns. So it's the gates of hell have opened. Not the gates of agony, the gates of hell.
Same difference.
If you got to watch them, yes, it's the gates of hell.
We've got a few things to talk about today. We finally got the numbers in. We figured we'd talk about that for the AEW show. I want to talk a little bit about the upcoming Money in the Bank show that looks, well, look, we've talked about it. We're going to talk about it in a minute, but, you know, Money in the Bank can be real hit and miss depending on who they put over, pal. It can really, really strike out. Sometimes they hit grand slams. I did want to revisit, though. Thanks, you guys that tuned in Wednesday night for the live watch along. We do try to do those every now and then. We get a chance when the schedules allow it. I had a good time. I think everybody else that watched had a good time as we reviewed this winch wrangler of a show. And the stats are in, and the numbers have come in, and the viewership does not lie once again. I understand cable is going out of business. I get that. There's streaming ways, there's everything else. However, the number of people tuning out of this show do not equate to the same number of people leaving cable. By the way, the super chats are open. Got something to say? You want to talk about it? Let us know.
Now, let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question before you start. Now, I watch on Hulu. Some people watch on YouTube TV. I don't know what platform you were on the other night watching it. I think you were watching it on your tablet.
Yes, through Verizon.
The streaming numbers come in when? They come into play when?
As far as I know, they all get counted up. They're all part of the Nielsen house. If you're part of the Nielsen
house, is it the
house,
same day?
All up.
Is it the same day, or does it happen the next day?
It takes them until the next day, I believe, to tabulate all the numbers. And they call them the fast overnights because I don't think they get the DVRs until like 3 days later. I watch it on my app. I watch it through the TBS app when we do this. So I know they're getting my number. My one little viewership ain't going to matter that much when you're talking about, and here's the number, 688,000.
No 700,000?
No. That's the joke used to be no million. Like that used to be the joke. That's not even the joke anymore. You can't even get back what you had at the beginning of June. The beginning of June, I've gone back and looked at some of the numbers. It was like 780 or 90,000 in June. At the beginning of June. At the end of June, they lost another 100,000 people. They're just tuning this out. And you can make all the excuses in the world that you want to make about this. It doesn't bother me. I'm just saying what the numbers are. The beginning of the year, they were well in the 800s. That was, if you remember, if you go back and look at our archives, that's what we were talking about. Their new normal was about 805,000 to 830,000.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you fast forward 2 months. It was 750,000. You fast forward to June, their new average is around 680,000 to 700,000 viewers because it's not increasing in quality. It's a bad show from start to finish. Even if you open it like we did Wednesday night when we watched this, did we shit on it, Johnny? Did we shit on the show when it started Wednesday?
No, 45 minutes. The first 45 minutes of that show were, I won't say exemplary, but they were tolerable. They were a good show. Good show. I enjoyed it.
And then the Britt Baker segment happened, and it just went to shit from there.
I was thinking about that today while I was, while I was in the shower. I thought to myself, how could they have made that segment better? They should have done a pre-tape, a filmed pre-tape of Baker talking about having a stroke, being hurt, then having a stroke, and pics of her going into the hospital, things like that. The WWE would have had a whole pre-produced thing. Her working out, trying to get back. Her with DDP. If they would have gotten his permission, I'm sure he would have. He's a fame whore. They could have had her showing her rehabbing with DDP, getting back to where she needs to be, and they could have done it that way instead of everyone dying a slow death in the middle of that ring.
I'm just going to stop here. I wasn't going to say anything, but
no, Mrs. Bottles just said
you mentioning thinking about this segment in the shower. It's not sitting well with the audience.
What are you talking about?
We're going to carry on, but yeah, that was good. But yes, it wasn't a good segment. We talked about it.
I give that shower one White Castle slider. And yes.
Oh, welcome to Friday. Here's to the working man.
Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday.
We were watching this live. We were talking about this segment live, and it killed all momentum that the show had going. It killed it all. It ran on, and it ran on, and it ran on, and it just wouldn't stop. And I understand she's come through some great adversity. I'm not saying that she hasn't. But that could have been covered in a 2-minute or 3-minute clip, like you said. Pre-cut this. Guys, you want to know where I was? Here's the video. And then you come back to her. I'm here now, and I'm here for one reason. I want to beat Monet's ass for every dollar she's got. That's all they had to do.
Could have been a backstage interview with JR or Renee or whoever. Could have been.
But instead, it died. This thing got in the ring and died. The crowd was trying to help. And that's sort of a disconnect a lot of times if you've ever gone to a wrestling show. When you've gone to the wrestling show, the building might have one sort of a vibe going through it as this is happening. At home, it's boring the shit out of the audience. It's killing the audience. I don't know in this case that it was too much of a big deal to do either way, right? It just felt like it killed the audience overall. Just in both home and the building. It just drug on too long. The balloons and shit were just not needed. I saw some clips. I didn't pay attention to it during the live segment, but they show them coming out to put balloons in the ring, and they're literally dropping them at the feet of her as she's in the ring before Monet even comes out. It was amateur hour, man, the whole way through.
Like I said during the live stream, that kind of shit goes on when you have a commercial. When you have a commercial in other wrestling promotions, I don't want to mention the name because people will say I'm that promotion's dick rider, but when you have a professional wrestling show and they format the show, that's all placed during a commercial. And then Monet would have come out, or Britt Baker would have stormed out after Monet. You would have Monet come out first, and then Britt Baker, and then they would do their piece of business, and the balloons would have gotten wrecked. The easels would have been picked up and used as weapons. There would have been a Britt Baker beatdown on Monet. And they would have got you interested in seeing those two go at it again. But they don't do that here. They have no idea how to do it. But he's got two writers, Don. He's got two writers for the WWE who know how to do this. R.D. Evans and Jennifer Peppermint, who is the Monet writer.
Well, here's the thing. She was in charge of this, I'm sure. Why would you not have the champion out there celebrating first, like you said, and then have the challenger come out to interrupt her glory? Because she's full-on heel now. Right? There's no way around this. Her entire demeanor and how she is in the ring, that's how she presents herself. And I'm pretty sure that's not too far a stretch from who this woman is in real life. I don't know her personally, but I'm sure that's sort of who she is in real life. It's not really hard. They always say the best wrestlers are themselves just cranked up to 10. That's what it is. I do want to thank everybody for watching on Friday night. Thank you all for coming in. Hit that like and subscribe if you're new to the program. We try to do a couple shows a week. Hit that notifications button. The super chat is open. Got something to say, something you didn't like about the show, let us know. I didn't like how this went.
The fall of this woman should be documented and gone over with a fine-tooth comb. You know what I mean?
Easy.
I mean, one of the biggest stars in WWE.
Easy with the fine-tooth comb. You know she's got problems.
She's follicularly challenged. I understand that completely.
She is. Well, if Will Smith was here, you better keep her mouth out your name. I'll say that much.
That's right. Jada Monet. I have to call her Jada Monet.
It just didn't get any better from here. And we've talked about it during the live stream. You've got Daniel Garcia slime all over my boy Moxley. And here's my issue. We began talking about this. sorry, not Moxley, but MJF. That's where he's going right now in my brain. Like, that's where he's fallen to now. You're talking
someone
about
you don't
MJF.
want to see on your TV.
Yes, like, I don't want to see him in this angle. I don't want to see him in this at all. This doesn't do him any good. And here's the other part about this, Bottles. We talked about this a week ago. This isn't going to help Moxley in any way, and it's not going to help It's not going to help
MJF.
Daniel. Sorry.
You got Moxley on the brain.
I do, dude, because that's what I'm seeing this now. I could see him fighting a Moxley. That would be more to something I could see that would make sense to me, would be Daniel Garcia fighting Moxley. I can't see him fighting MJF. MJF is a star in this company. And to me, it's breaking MJF down. It's not going to elevate Daniel Garcia. He's the dancing goof, as we have discussed many times. He needs to go away and get this cleaned off of his slate. So he's no longer the joke in the club that's dancing like a moron. You realize that's how that he got his stupid gimmick? Was the guy saw him dancing like an idiot and thought it was funny and said, you should use that.
Right. I said that to you. That's how he got it. And they saw all at the after parties. Well, every time they have a live show, they have a big party back at the hotel, catered and all that bullshit. And he dances like a goof during these parties. And he said, hey, you ought to do that on TV. That's funny as hell. Everybody was laughing at him because he's all drunked up and doing it. That's his claim to fame. That's all he's got. That's his ceiling. He's the Grandmaster Sexay of AEW. He's the Scotty Too Hottie of AEW.
He's a one-note pony and the joke's over, much like Orange Cassidy. It's not funny when it happened the first time with him as far as I'm concerned, and it's damn sure not funny 4 and 5 months later, and now it's 3 years later. There's nothing about this guy that I find entertaining. I just take him off my TV. Put him on Friday night so I don't have to see him for a while. Here's
my theory. This is why they're doing this. Everyone on the internet who chides AEW for all their problems says they don't know how to make stars. They don't know how to make stars. Well, they pick this goof and they figure, let's make him a star. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make him a star. Tony Khan's going to shove him down everyone's throat to try to get this kid over. It's not working. It's not working. They call Gargano Johnny Sameface.
Yes, I've heard him call that well, he's not alone. I don't think Cornette started. I think that was going on for a while.
Garcia's Danny Sameface. He's got the same expression, whether he's happy, he's sad, he's angry, he's psychotic, he's just bored. He's got the same expression on his face. Resting bored face. You heard of resting bitch face? Resting bored face.
Well, it's got wrestling change my channel as far as I'm concerned right now.
Right.
The rest of this shit I don't care about. It was 688.
You had that look on your face the other day when he came on. God, where's the clicker? Let me get off this chat. Don wanted to abort that live stream so many times.
It was hard, man. Look, I can usually get through about half the show before I got to bail and do something else. I just watch the rest of it the next day and take my notes. That shit is hard to sit through for 2 hours. I don't know how people do it, to be quite honest. I watch it. It's hard enough.
During Baker and Monet, you were at DEFCON 6. You were ready to launch.
God damn, get me out of this chair. I've lost power. I got to go. My light just went out. I'll see you later.
Sherry, flick the lights. The lights are going out. I got to go. We're losing power.
Hey, Denisha, thank you for joining Don and Bottles. I do think Mercedes will bury Britt Baker at Wembley. Or do we think she will? Do we think Monet will bury Britt Baker? Man, that's a good question, actually.
I don't think there's going to be a conclusive winner. I think at Wembley, you'll see the return of the Brit, the former women's champion, who held the belt before Toni Storm, Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter will return at Wembley to, I think Baker will be beaten within an inch of her life, and Hayter will come in, and there'll be another challenger for Mercedes Monet. So I don't think Baker doesn't want the TBS title. She wants the main belt. She wants to be the top dog. So
no, but I think it's a good question because I think what she's hitting at is Britt Baker's
with her creative control.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah,
okay.
It's one of those deals where look, Britt Baker says she was sick. I've got no reason to not believe her. But there are some creative control differences that were going on before she left, where she was saying some things on Twitter and she was tweeting some things. Haven't been on TV in 3 months. She wasn't hinting that she was sick. She was hinting that she just wasn't being used. And I don't know that Mercedes doesn't have enough. I don't know that she doesn't have the pull of this company right now. She could bury anybody she wanted to. And I think possibly if she hears that crowd, cheering Britt, there's a strong possibility, man, that she could bury her ass at Wembley. Like, the crowd's over. Britt Baker's going to be hot by the time this goes around because they're going to be so ready to see her wrestle. She might bury her ass in the middle of that ring. They do have a pay-per-view this month, don't they? I think. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Maybe not. I think the first week of August, I believe, is Wembley. So they might be holding off for that. Speaking of pay-per-views in this company.
Hold on. But yeah, that's a good question, man. It's a real good question. I'll be curious to see where the creative goes on this and how close to the bone they cut on their promos in the coming weeks. That'll be interesting for me.
Right.
I'll be watching for that. I enjoy that. Might have a good old-fashioned real-life cat fight in the middle of the ring. Bitch, you don't know me.
Let's say, I mean, for the females, they don't have that many heels for the females. Toni Storm's not a heel anymore. Neither is Mariah May. The crowd loves her. So how would you turn Monet? How would you turn Baker back to a heel and Monet back to a face?
No, you cannot turn Monet back to a face anytime soon. That is impossible. No. And they're going to love Baker no matter what because they haven't seen her in 9 months or 8 months or whatever.
Right.
She was going to get healed. That's the thing. Anytime a wrestler comes back from a major injury, I don't give a shit if they were a heel when they left. They are always going to come back as a face if they were gone for an extended period of time. And that's what happened with Britt Baker. They cheered her ass off when she walked out there. Monet, as we saw in that video clip, was getting no reaction at all after her match. They weren't cheering. They weren't booing. They were just sort of there. I will be curious how they use this moving down the line. I'm glad she brought that up. I'm going to be looking forward to that. So I'll keep my eye on that, especially. Now, that little hint of maybe there's going to be some personal animosity might be there, which would make for a much more entertaining segment, I might add. Because
Baker had personal animosity towards a lot of the women in the locker room in real life. She buried a lot of them back. Thunder Rosa is the biggest one right there. Taya Valkyrie, that's another one right there. She sandbagged those two. Ring of Honor. They banished her to Ring of Honor. Just like Athena. Any woman that can really wrestle in that company, they dump over on Ring of Honor. Satchel Ass and Taya Valkyrie are all over there. So
I will be watching for this. So we're going to watch again. You know, we got a couple more shows to get through. There is some ongoing reports, though, on Ricochet backstage. I know you thought he was going to stay in WWE.
He wasn't back there. The agent was back there.
Sorry, the agent was. But you were convinced he was going to stay in WWE. I was convinced he was absolutely gone. I have not waned on this. I thought he was gone. I think he sees greener grass on the other side. I believe he thinks he can work the mic, and he hasn't been given the opportunity. His agent was backstage Wednesday night. His contract was officially over on July 1st. That has now been reported by numerous sites. I honestly believe Ricochet has got a lot of faith in his talent, and he can wrestle in the ring, and he can do some really cool shit. On the other side of that, I don't know if he's any good on the mic. The limited times I've seen him, he's been hit and miss. There was times when he got fired up where it looked like, if you remember, we talked about this like 2 months ago. He looked like he was going to turn heel in the WWE, and then he didn't.
Right.
But that was the best promo I'd ever seen him cut to that point in that company.
Let me ask you this question, Don. How many promos have you seen him cut live in the ring and not backstage? Can you remember
I don't know. I don't actually. No, I don't. I think there was 1 or 2 where he was calling somebody out, but it wasn't a lot. Nothing comes to mind that made me go, wow, that guy's great on the stick. Nothing.
Right. Well, God bless him. If he thinks he's going to make more money, he's engaged to Samantha Irvin, the WWE ring announcer. I don't know how that's going to work out in that relationship, but AEW doesn't do house shows. They do 2 shows a week, and one of them is a double tape. Well, they're both double tapings, Rampage and Collision and Ring of Honor. So, you got 2 shows on one day and 2 shows on another day. I think this Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, Christopher Stike Leather is watching. I know, could probably tell us in the chat whether, because he's he's the savant of wrestling news and knowledge. I believe Collision and Rampage are both live this Saturday. I guess he's counter programming against
that. Yeah, come on,
PLA, dude. Which makes no sense whatsoever.
Come on, dude.
Why would you blow off both shows like that?
Why would you split the audience, even for the ones that are really, we watch both shows, right? As far as the Wednesday show, we don't watch the Friday and Saturday shit anymore. But even if I did, I'm not going to pass on a PLE versus watching their bullshit, because we're going to talk about the PLE in a minute, why it matters and why sometimes this thing is a bunch of crap. But There's also something else. Chris Jericho's back in wrestling news. Have you heard about this? Have you read about this? Have you seen this?
No,
Chris
I have
Jericho
not.
says pro wrestling could easily be an Olympic sport. This dude is not getting off of this, man. He is the ultimate carny. The ultimate carny.
He's living that rock star lifestyle now 24/7. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if that guy's drinking I wouldn't be surprised if he's drinking a half gallon, a 1.75 liter, if you want to get metric, of Grey Goose every day. He's a big vodka drinker. I think he's a drunk. I think he's demented. The alcohol's clouding his mind. And just from the stories I heard about him melting down on these Fozzy tours, throwing shit at hotels, wanting to fight people backstage, just he's drinking his own bathwater, as the old saying used to go. I forgot who said it. He's drinking his own bathwater, is what he's doing. He thinks he's the shits. I think when I say the shit, he thinks he's it. I'll say it that way for the boomers out there. Oh, he thinks he's the cat's pajamas, the cat's ass. He thinks he's the cat's ass, Don. Turns out he's just the dog's dick.
I don't understand his mindset on this whole, because he's been on this train now for several years, screaming that pro wrestling should be an Olympic event because he says you can judge it on the artistic form. Shut the hell up. It's a predetermined outcome. That's why it doesn't work. Nothing else is predetermined in sports. That's why wrestling is a work. It's a weird sport to get into and to watch. You got to be a certain type of fan to like this. You mainly tune into it, correct me if I'm wrong, for the entertainment value, not because they're going to put on a 5-star match, which Dave Meltzer loves to give anybody in AEW, which he did it against this last pay-per-view they did. I want to talk about that some, but you can't judge this shit. It's based on what you like. That's why you can't do it. All these other sports are based on form, how they do the dive, how they do the vault off the damn thing. Not wrestling where you come off the top rope and you wait for the guy to get in position so he can catch you. He's out of his mind. He did do something good, though.
Yes, he did.
Kevin Sullivan is in bad shape right now. He's in a, quote, critical medical emergency and financial crisis. But Chris Jericho did donate to his cause. It was $2,500. So I do want to tip my cap when it's due. I commend him for doing that. It was nice of him to make sure he gave a little bit of money to the guy. I do not understand how Kevin Sullivan could possibly need money. I'm just going to be honest. The guy made a ton of money in his career. He was huge in Florida before he ever got to WCW. I'm not sure if people realize that or not. He was a huge megastar in Florida. Huge megastar. That's why he ended up in WCW, because Dusty was like, hey, baby, I want you to come up here, bring some of them ideas you got, baby. I got the book now.
He was probably making great money as a booker for WCW, not just as a talent, but as a booker.
Yes.
So, I mean, $1 million contracts they were handing out over there, and he was worth every penny, considering all the ideas that he had. I mean, Bischoff crafted the NWO idea, but he said, I want you to do this, NWO, watch this New Japan clip. Okay. And Sullivan just took it to new heights and did the whole schmear. Maybe bad business deals, bad investments in stock. The economy sucks. He's been in the hospital for a long time with the all the care that he needed and all the surgeries he had. What do you have? Sepsis?
Something like that. Yeah.
He was they said he had some sort of unfortunate accident. They wouldn't say what it was. He had sepsis, and I believe he went into a coma, if I'm not mistaken. He was in bad shape. So, if anybody out there in the chat knows, we'll put that up on the screen, because I like to find out.
I'll pray for the man. I feel bad for him. I don't know how he could possibly need money unless he was just one of those guys that just spent all the money he had. I don't know. A lot of those guys did that shit. Paul Orndorff at the end, he lost his house. He was going to lose his damn house. I mean, he was in horrible financial shape. So I just hope he bounces back. I've said, hopes and prayers, all that. God bless you, man. You're a huge part of the sport. I hope you stick around for a little bit longer.
You know what? You said something earlier about Ricochet. I want to go back to that.
Oh, boy.
You said that you're talking about Samantha.
We're rebounding back to Ricochet.
We're ricocheting back to Ricochet. So you said Samantha Irvin is, there's a lot of guys there, blah, blah, blah. And she's going to be in WWE. He'll be probably in AEW. But Why did he bring up Alicia Taylor? They swapped the SmackDown male announcer for the NXT black female announcer and put her up on SmackDown now. And you've got Samantha Irvin on Raw. Are they anticipating Samantha Irvin not renewing her contract with them? I don't know how long the contract is. I don't know. But I think Triple H put somebody in place to take over the reins from Samantha Irvin, because this woman's just as good. Alicia Taylor's fantastic, man. As a ring announcer, she doesn't get enough credit. She was great in NXT.
She's great.
Yeah. Oh, you think she's doing SmackDown? I think she's doing a great job on SmackDown.
Yeah, I've enjoyed watching her. I don't know what they're going to. I don't know where their contract status is. Look, a lot of these folks get into the wrestling business to get into the entertainment business. That's what they're all trying to look as that side door in. They don't particularly love wrestling. Some of them do. Liv Morgan, hate her or love her, she loves the wrestling business. She knows who all the people are. That's how she got into it, because she loves it. So take it for what it's worth. Some of them want to actually be in the business. Some of them want to get a side gig and get another way in. Coachman wanted to get on ESPN. That was his lifelong dream, and that's what he did. Now he's doing other things. I'm just saying. So we'll see.
Dude, I'm looking fervently for these quarter hours for AEW. Wow. I'm just refreshing my page here, hoping something pops up.
Easy, pal. You're going to be back in the shower before you know it.
I want to run the water. Run the water in the shower.
I want to talk about the Money in the Bank pay-per-view.
Yes.
Or PLE, excuse me, as they're called now. We have shit on a lot of WWE PLEs this year since the WrestleMania one. The last PLE was good. We both agreed.
WWE?
Yeah. The last WWE PLE was good. It wasn't bad. But everything since WrestleMania has been well below average. It's been awful. It has not been fun to watch.
No.
This particular PLE, Money in the Bank, is known for either being a grand slam of a show or a complete fart in church, depending on who wins that briefcase. And there's no other way around it. You've got to have somebody win that's over with the crowd, or that is a heel to hell that is just going to shock everybody, right? Seth Rollins winning it, one of the big ones. Edge winning it, another one of the big ones. I want to say didn't CM Punk win it, and that was one of the big ones. I want to say. I can't remember, though. But then you have shit like Otis winning it.
Do you
see what I'm saying, though? Like, it's bad sometimes, man.
That was
Otis won. Dude, that was when Vince McMahon was in full meltdown mode and didn't know what to do with anything in this company.
I think Vince was on a bad coke binge that weekend when he said, "Put it on Otis." God damn it.
You have got to do this the correct way. And there's ways to do this. And there's guys in this match I want to talk about when we get to it. And there's matches on this card that have the ability to surprise us and give us something entertaining, if nothing else. And that's what I want. I don't give a shit if your favorite wrestler doesn't win. I want to be entertained. I want to be entertained to the fullest. And you owe me this heading into SummerSlam, WWE, because you're not going to have a PLE in September. From what I can see, I think it's no PLE in September, or is it October? One of those months is
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. They still might announce one. They're selling tickets so fast. They could announce one in August and for the end of September and sell it out. It's ridiculous the way they're selling tickets to these shows.
So here's the first match on the card that's been announced. The heavyweight championship match, Priest versus Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is back. Here's where it's going to get tricky. I don't know that Seth Rollins is completely healthy. I know they're saying I've read that he is, and I've read that he isn't. I'm kind of concerned from that aspect. Is his knee completely healed? Is he rushing himself back too fast to keep the momentum that he has going? That's one of my concerns. So I'll be watching for that knee in this match. If he sells it at an angle, I'll feel a lot better. If he starts selling it on his own because he jumped off the ropes and missed something, I'm going to get nervous. This match, and this is why I'm so intrigued by this match, it can go 100 different ways. It really can.
Yep.
It can go with a Liv Morgan interference to cost him the match, or Finn Balor interference to cost him the match, and Seth Rollins wins. I don't know how Damian Priest walks out of this show with the title myself personally. I just don't see it.
I don't think anyone's going to cash in on Damian Priest or Seth Rollins during the show. I think You sure that's the first match? I heard it was the main event.
I'm looking. No, the main event is going to be the six.
The men's Money in the Bank.
No, the 6-man.
I don't believe that for a hot minute.
Okay,
They would put that shitty six unless they got something big planned for that.
I'm looking at the card right now, the way it's lined up.
I'm on Bleacher Report.
Okay, I mean they're AEW shows. You could believe whatever you want with them.
Well, I mean it's not any kind of order, but they've got as the last match, Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins. CBS Sports had that. I don't know.
No,
let's not quibble over who's going first. Let's not quibble over who's going first. Let's quibble over what's going to take place. Have you heard the rumors of the celebrities that are coming in?
No, I have not.
Johnny Knoxville. Posted by Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville. Remember, they had a feud at WrestleMania a while back.
That was a while ago. I do remember that.
Mm-hmm. What about AJ Lee has been seen at the airport in Toronto?
See, now this is the one that keeps getting my goat, right? This is the one that I don't. This of all the things that could happen, I don't want AJ Lee interfering in this match. Not in this one, but
off a ladder.
I'm going to talk
off a ladder.
I know. I'm going to talk about that when we get to it, though. I'm worried about this match right now. This is the one that I want to talk about. Priest and Rollins. I honestly, if you want to know what I really think, I don't think they're going to take the title off of him yet.
I think they will, and I'll tell you why. Because Balor knows that's the only thing Priest cares about. So Balor's going to take over the Judgment Day and make sure Priest loses that title. That way, Balor could fight Seth Rollins.
I think
on one episode of Raw for the title.
I think they're going to help him retain the title over Seth Rollins. And he's going to be pissed about it.
You owe us.
Yeah, I think that's where it's going to go, and it's going to build to SummerSlam when he finally fights Gunther, and then they're going to screw him out of it. Then I think that's how this is going to happen. I think Seth Rollins retains right here. That's what I honestly think. Save the screw job for SummerSlam on the bigger show. That's how I see it coming.
Okay.
By the way,
got one match down.
Well, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. If you got something to say in the super chats, go right away. I'm having a good time here tonight. I hope you guys are having a good time. The next one is the men's Money in the Bank with Jey Uso versus Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade versus Chad Gable versus LA Knight versus Drew McIntyre. LA Knight's not going to win. I can tell you why.
Why is that?
The U.S. champion's going to get involved somehow with him. I think you're going to see. No, this one is set up the SummerSlam match. I think you're going to see.
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
I think you're going to see a lot of interference in this match. A lot of interference in this match is going to happen. That's how I see this going down, right? I think you're going to see some shit going on backstage. If I was running this thing, honest to God, I wouldn't even have I've said this for months now. I wouldn't even have Drew McIntyre make it to the ring. I would have CM Punk waiting backstage to where as soon as they call his name as an entrant, the music plays and he's nowhere to be seen. And you just cut backstage and suddenly they're fighting all over the building. CM Punk and him end up in the damn alley somewhere, and here comes the police to break it up. Now we've got a real life fight. They get arrested and hauled off. And then you say, maybe, well, shit, we got to have another guy added to the Money in the Bank. We need a new entrant. And that's what I think you might see somebody like, I don't know, Brock Lesnar coming out of nowhere. The roof would blow off if Brock Lesnar called it.
Would you say we need Brock Lesnar to come back?
I don't think we have to have him, but it would be a nice surprise right here.
Maybe we would get that Gunther Brock Lesnar match they were going to put on until all this went down.
Yes. That's how I would do it if I was running the show. That's me being a fan, wanting to see something different at this event. I do believe you're going to see the U.S. champ come out. Why is his name escaping me? I don't know why. Help me out here, Bottles.
The U.S. champ?
Yeah.
It's Logan Paul.
Logan Paul, thank you. Yes. I think you're going to see LA Knight at the moment where he's going to get the title. And I think you're going to see LA Knight come out of nowhere, knock him off the ladder and run like hell. And LA Knight gives chase. Like I said, you're going to get a lot of grab ass into this thing. And I think when it's all said and done, Jey Uso wins.
Interesting. Very interesting. I like that theory.
Who do you think wins and why?
Money in the Bank?
Yeah.
I'm going with I'm going to have to go with Jey Uso. Or Carmelo Hayes. One of those two. Not Andrade, not Gable, not Knight, not McIntyre. I think McIntyre is going to get dumped off the ladder when he goes up to get the belt and fall out of the ring, and someone else will throw one up there or go up the one that's next to it, climb up there. I think someone is knocking Drew McIntyre off a ladder, tipping the whole goddamn thing over. I'm not going to mention who it is because you'll say, it's not going to happen.
No, you think it's going to be AJ Lee. You think it's going to be AJ Lee.
I think it's going to be AJ Lee.
But here's my concern with that. It's already been done. Why are we going to do that again? It's already been done once.
A nice look back on the past, and that just it's a circuitous route to go back to AJ Lee and Punk, maybe having AJ Lee wrestle a match at SummerSlam. Who knows?
If you think she's even interested in coming back, I'm being honest. You think she's even interested in coming back to wrestle?
I'm just spitballing here, pal. I don't fucking know. I'm no prognosticator. I'm just, hang on a second. I'll be Karnak the Magnificent if anybody remembers that. AJ Lee.
Oh, God.
What ex-diva you think is interested in coming back to the WWE?
Okay, no. Look, I hear you, and that's what everybody's saying is that it's going to be her. I hope it's not. The women's Money in the ladder.
I know. I got it. Larry the dog will tip the ladder over.
What if he's the one backstage biting the shit out of Drew, and that's why everybody gets arrested? The dog's attacking him. The cops are out there with mace. Shit's going down.
McIntyre's going like this, and you've got like an animatronic dog like glued to his throat, and you hear somebody going,
oh my God. Vince
Get him off me! Get him off me!
Vince McMahon would absolutely love this.
He would.
Then we have the women's MITB match. Io Sky, Chelsea Green, Valkyria, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and Zoe Stark. Here's my issue with the women's ladder match.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's not very good. And usually it's very slow. And usually somebody gets hurt because they try to outdo the men. And all I need to see is a good, entertaining match from them. I don't need to see anything crazy to where one of them gets hurt because they're missing already enough stars. And now you've got a bunch of their female stars sitting here. And I think Tiffany Stratton wins this thing. I don't think there's any hoo-ha going on. I think she wins it straight up.
Conventional thought, Tiffany Stratton. Thinking outside the box, if they wanted to do something comical with the Money in the Bank Women's Championship, Chelsea Green. She could work that angle until the Royal Rumble or WrestleMania. If you have her carried around, or have Piper Niven carrying her around for her, or the silver platter, the Money in the Bank briefcase. I think those two. Stratton, if you're going by logical booking, or Chelsea Green, if you want to have a comedic heel with the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Just don't bore me. Don't bore me and don't be stupid. That's all I ask. Because I can already tell you I'm probably going to be getting a piece of pizza during this thing. I'm probably going to make another drink, let the dogs out. I'm getting some damn bagel bites this weekend. I'm getting some bagel bites. This is going to happen.
Bagel bites are fantastic, pal.
This is going to happen. I'll be doing all of this shit while this is going on. I'm not going to stop it and pause it.
I've got another one for you, Don.
All right.
Corn dog bites.
Oh, those are great.
Oh, my God. Throw them in the air fryer, spray them down with a little olive oil, air fry them, pop them out. You got a little ketchup, a little mustard on a plate. Oh, my God. It's so good.
Don, you better listen to Bottles. You were already wrong about Jacob. I was wrong about Jacob. I was. However, he wasn't willing to bet a pizza, and I'm 2 pizzas up to nothing.
That's right. Now, a Hot Pocket, I can throw that in the I can mail that to you. A Hot Pocket. I'll just put
I'm not. Look, I've heard the rumors that AJ Lee is there, but the way they've been going lately, that could be smoke and mirrors, man. That could be smoke and mirrors.
A misdirection.
Yeah, I mean, she's out there because her husband's going to be there, I think, in my opinion. So why not let everybody think what they're going to think? I don't want to see her get involved. Yeah.
Phil, let's go to Canada, Phil.
It's across the street. They're in Chicago. Just get on a boat.
Right.
Come on over.
Sure.
Anyway, then you have the last match of the evening that I'm seeing here, which is the 6-man tag match with Cody Rhodes. Oh, sorry. No, there was one. The main event actually looks like it's the Intercontinental Championship. So the
That's
other,
not the main event. That can't be the main event.
I'm just letting you want to
Intercontinental
Cody
Champion
Rhodes,
Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker.
It's too early, right? It's too early to make Braun, and there's already too much interference going on, right?
I don't think it's too early to make Braun.
By the way, Denisha, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. We really appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Super chats are open. Come on in. If you got something you want to say, let us know. I think it's too early to put it on Braun Breaker. I really do. I think you're going to have, I hate to say it, but I think you're going to have another schmoz finish because there's already outside interference going on. This might lead to the fatal four-way all corners match at SummerSlam, where you have 4 guys competing for the title, and that's when you make Braun Breaker. So Sami doesn't have to lose it.
If you have Breaker win it from Sami, who takes it from Breaker?
Oh, you let him hold that thing.
You don't have anybody. You don't have anybody
what I'm saying,
to take it from Breaker.
Okay.
Unless Gunther says, I'm going to go after the IC title again. But Breaker beat Gunther. He beat Gunther in NXT.
I know. I'm glad you mentioned this. Here's what I would do. You're going to have the schmoz finish on this to make everybody happy. You can't have Braun Breaker lose cleanly in the middle of the ring. That can't happen. What you need is like some outside bullshit again. The same 2 guys that have been getting involved, Sheamus and Dragunov, they need to get involved in this at some point in this match. They need to be heard. I think that's what you're going to see. You're going to see some shit go down, and you're going to get a fatal 4-way for the Intercontinental title at SummerSlam. That's how I think this is going to go down. That's what I think you're going to see.
I'll take it back. Who could they put against Breaker? Dragunov.
Yeah. And they could have a great match. I think, look, I'm not saying that Braun Breaker's got to have this epic run, but I think you let him hold on to that thing a couple of months, 2 or 3 maybe, until you figure out what the hell you're doing with Chad Gable. Because that guy just seems like a rudderless ship right now. He's got the Wyatt Six shit going on. He's got his quote-unquote family that's abandoned him. There's all kinds of shit going on.
We didn't mention the Wyatt Six in that men's ladder match.
Dude.
They're targeting Gable. What if someone goes in there and hijacks Gable? And they carry him out.
I think you're going to see a lot of shenanigans go down in this men's ladder match. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to see some shit.
I hope we're not subjected to yeet in the bank or money in the yeet for the rest of the year.
Oh, you're going to get yeeted.
Dude, I don't want to see that. I don't know anybody who wants to see that. It'll be the same match over and over again with that guy. Rinse and repeat, punches, spit in my hand, hit you with the haymaker, super kick, bullshit spear, pin, count, 2 count.
Now I've got to come off the top rope.
Now I got to come off the top rope for the splash. It's the same match.
I'm not disagreeing with you, pal, but my honest to God hope is that Chad Gable wins this thing. That's my honest hope.
Could we sell Yeet My Ass in the Squared Circle Maniac store? Can we sell that shirt? Yeet My Ass. Yeet, my ass. Exclamation point.
Oh, yeet
Hashtag
these nuts.
Yeet.
Yeet these nuts.
Yeet these
There's
nuts.
so many ways we could go with this shitty yeet. So many ways. Anyway, that's that. Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton versus the Bloodline. That's the other match in this thing.
You know, you said that might be the main event, or that's the main event. Did you say that?
I think it's
in your lineup there.
I think it's going to be Intercontinental Championship's the main event.
Well, if they make this 6-man the main event, you know, something big, something huge is coming down. SmackDown's not going to be anything, but this is going to be enormous. This Bloodline 6-man match. Don't make a hot pocket while it's on, unless maybe the one son of a Haku who's not that good, unless he's in the ring. But hey,
is this when? Is this?
You'll see the new wise man for the Bloodline.
Nah, no way. I don't think so.
They're getting a new wise man, pal.
They're
getting a new wise man. They want to make the sides. When they have the Bloodline feud this year, they want to have the sides evened up. A wise man versus a wise man, and 4 or 5 guys versus 4 or 5 guys.
Who could possibly be the wise man, though?
It could be I'm just saying, like I said on the show the other night, MVP or restaurateur Armando Alejandro Estrada, who was Umaga's manager, the guy with the white Panama hat, the suit, and the cigar. And he always rolled his R's when he mentioned his own name.
Everything you just said makes me want to bash my head through this keyboard. Everything.
I have my faith in the writing team for SmackDown. I do. They're going to make this work. Heyman's going to make this work. He's going to make it work.
Please,
I'm telling you, it's already mapped out. This shit's already written to SummerSlam. Triple H said in an interview they're writing 2 or 3 months in advance for what's going to happen, what's going to take place.
I think, for me personally, I think this is when you see Randy Orton turn on Cody Rhodes. I think this is the moment. I think the Viper strikes to set up his SummerSlam main event match that he wants. That's what I think you're going to see. I think Randy Orton turns on Cody Rhodes in the middle of this. And I know he's got personal vendetta beef against the bloodline. But if you've been watching him the last few weeks, he's been eyeballing Cody Rhodes every time he gets that title around.
Yeah.
He's laying the groundwork for, hey, bitch, I used to have a belt look just like that. I think I might want that back.
Thanks. Son of a bitch.
So, yes, I will be very curious about this match. As many of you have mentioned before, my wife is a big Randy Orton fan. She loves the guy. She loves everything about him. She loves the entrance. She loves the damn finisher. She thinks
she's in the shower right now. She's in the shower thinking about that Randy Orton angle for tomorrow night.
Easy. Let's not go there. I don't know what you do in your time. We don't do that here, pal. God almighty. That's that show. Now I want to talk about tonight's SmackDown because that's coming on, and there's some matches announced, right? Here's my issue, and here's what we've been saying about SmackDown the last several months. The go-home SmackDown. The go-home SmackDown has sucked routinely since WrestleMania. They have
absolutely.
The only one was the exception was the Cody Rhodes came out and had his moment. That was a pretty cool little deal. It wasn't long. Yes. They got it over with. I am terrified this is going to suck. I'm scared to death to even watch this. The few matches I've seen announced are Jade Cargill and Belair versus Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. Is this where you finally see one of these two girls turn on the other one? Is this the moment?
It could be.
It feels like it, right? Like this should happen. Like we're now at that moment in the sun where you need to do something with them so that they can have their SummerSlam match. It's a SummerSlam match waiting to happen, right?
Yeah. It's maybe they're thinking that the SmackDown before the PLEs suck. So let's throw a big zinger on the SmackDown show.
Because we've talked about this. We thought they were going to get a long run with these titles until, Bianca, or not Bianca, but until Jade got her legs under her in this company. They took the titles off them, I thought, way too fast for me personally. But we're going to see tonight. The other one is, and I can't believe I'm about to say this shit out loud, the Street Profits versus Pretty Deadly.
This is something I really don't want to see at all.
Hold on. I'm going to say it again. Pretty Deadly has returned.
I don't mind Pretty Deadly. I really don't. They're good workers. They ramped up the metrosexual aspect of their act. In NXT, they were great in the ring, but now it's all the mincing and the begging off and all this other crazy shit. They'll pull out a surprise win from time to time, but basically they're just getting the hell beat out of them. It's Pretty Deadly versus who? The Street Profits? Another team that I don't want to see. I want to see them go away for a while. I like them too, but they try to turn them heel with a heel Bobby Lashley, and they were getting cheered because they were up against tweeners. So the Street Profits got cheered. Lashley got cheered. Lashley's a Army hero or Marines or whatever he was in. And he's for a guy who's 48 years old, he's in tip-top physical condition. Amazing condition. Although he's out hurt right now, of course. So the Street Profits are sort of lagging B-Fab and the Street Profits, but they were going to push Montez forward as a heavyweight champ. They were going to give him the Intercontinental title under Vince and bump him up to being in contention for the main belt. But Jey Uso got that shot when Vince took the last train to Scat Town, and he's out now. So
I like them. I think they're a great team. I enjoy watching them. I don't think they get enough love. I don't think they get enough push, quite frankly. I want to see them do something. And here's the other part, right? They always put these men's tag team championship belts on these individual wrestlers that have no business holding them. A-Town Down Under is the dumbest shit they could have done. This guy I used to love.
They realize that.
They realize that, Don. This son of a bitch.
They're going to turn him face. It's coming. You know that. Grayson Waller's treating him like shit, and they're going to turn Austin Theory face, and that will give Austin Theory a bump up at being a face. And maybe he'll be in contention for the Intercontinental title or the U.S. title or whatever.
Because guess who A-Town Down Under's facing? That notorious tag team that we all love.
DIY for the titles. DIY for the titles tonight. Yes.
Another tag team that I don't give a shit if I never see them again. I do not care.
Dude, Tommaso Ciampa is fantastic. He's a great wrestler. Unfortunately, that neck's a little suspect. He's had neck problems in the past. Broke it in NXT. But he works out like a fiend. He's a nutritionist. Great ring technician. He's been doing it for 20 years. He's not an indie guy who was just, popped in and started doing it. I love Ciampa. He's short, Don. I know he's short. And he looks like the box of a Smith Brothers cough drops box. But don't break the magic windows for Christ's sake.
Every time I hear somebody mention Ciampa, I hear the same thing. He's great in the ring. He does this. He does that. You know what I've never seen out of this guy on the main roster? Fucking ever? Me being entertained. I've never seen me being entertained by this guy. It's cool that he works on a smaller level. This doesn't work at this level. In front of 10,000 people, it doesn't get over. It hasn't gotten over. It's not going to get over. Do something else. Put him back on NXT. That's where he's comfortable at. That's what he's really good at, is that level of program. He's not a main event guy, in my opinion. He's not a mid-tier guy, in my opinion. He's been put with this guy that for some reason is Triple H's boy. I can't stand Johnny Gargano. Nothing about him gets over with me. And they're in a tag team match tonight for the championship belts against another team that I can't stand to watch. I can't do it, man. I can't do this shit.
You'll see the Waller Theory break up, and then you'll see Gargano and Ciampa pin Waller and win the titles, or pin Theory and win the titles.
I'm going to see me get up, take a leak, fast forward this match, and then hope that it's over with by the time I'm getting it, refreshing my beverage. That's what you're going to see.
Sure.
No
hot pockets tonight, Don.
No hot pockets tonight. I'm over the Ciampa shit, man. I'm over it. You've got to see Ciampa. I had a buddy of mine 3 years ago. You got to see this guy Ciampa. He's fucking amazing. Okay, he's on the main roster now. Where's he amazing? That's all Triple H. What?
Dude, when I want to ask you who that is. He might be in the chat. Ciampa, when he was at NXT, was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. When he comes up to the main, Ciampa is a singles wrestler. Unfortunately, he's only 5'4" or 5'5". He's not a big man. I'd love to see Ciampa and Gable go at it. I'd love to see Ciampa and Dragunov go at it. That's a match they could do. Ciampa needs to be. Him and Gargano are great friends, so if you split them up, the Marty Jannetty of the group is Gargano. At a low level rockers. He's the Marty Jannetty of the low level rockers. So
I don't want to see it. I'm not going to watch this. I'll fast forward the shit of it. Thank God. That's SmackDown. Don't let me down. No, I'm not. I'm just tired of hearing about these people. I'm tired of hearing about these people, and they always let me down. And it's a forever shit show sandwich that I get smeared in like sandwich spread. And I'm tired of getting my feelings hurt by hoping this guy's going to do something. He's so great. Anyway, I'm off my Ciampa vibe. You got anything else?
If you liked all that, you might get a job at Titan Towers. Well, that guy left. So,
well, what do you got for me?
Huh?
because the
Let's
ESPN
take a look at some
ratings came out.
I'm looking at it right now, Don. Let's.
I don't know if you. By the way, thank you all for watching tonight. Please like and subscribe. Appreciate your support. The super chat is open. ESPN is so desperate for ratings right now that they're getting back in the wrestling business because everything else they throw up there sucks. It's all a bunch of talking heads doing talking head shit, and there's no longer Sports Center. It's no longer showing you what happened. It doesn't go through the baseball scores. You got to find that shit on ESPN News or ESPN2 or Ocho, ESPN 8. If you know what that line's from, I tip my hat. That was a great movie. What do you got for me on the ESPN nonsensical bullshit?
They've given us the 2024 Pro Wrestling Power Rankings thus far on the men's side. And this is compiled by ESPN. I don't know what parameters they used, but let's start at number 10. MJF, the guy who had a big night the other night.
The guy who's had 2 whole matches this year is number 10 in the world.
Wrap your head around that. Number 9, and you're going to love this, Kazuchika, I think, Okada, number 9.
Okay. All right.
Number 8, WWE Heavyweight Champion, Damian Priest is number 8.
Okay.
Number 7, Brittle Neck, Bryan Danielson from AEW.
Oh, kiss
Brittle
my
Neck.
ass.
He's number 7. Oh, if you're a little irate right now, I hate to see what you're going to say to this. Number 6, everyone's favorite, the Bleeding Plumber, Jon Moxley.
Moxley. All right. I'm done with this already.
Number 6, over Damian Priest and MJF. Number 5, Drew McIntyre. What do you think of that standing? I think he would be at least be number 2.
Okay. Keep going.
In fact, this whole list smells like number 2.
It really does.
Number 4, Gunther. Number 4, I could see that. That's a good spot for Gunther right now. He's not a champ. What do you think of that? Gunther at number 4.
So far, this all sounds like a beef booger list.
Number 3, Swerve Strickland. Number 3, AEW Heavyweight Champion, Swerve Strickland. Okay. Number 2, Sugar Will Ospreay, Sweet Will Ospreay. Okay. Everyone's favorite. Dave Meltzer's favorite. Renowned wrestling analyst. Dave Meltzer loves some Will Ospreay. And number 1, as rightfully should be, the undisputed heavyweight champion.
Gotta be, Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes.
So let me get this straight. LA Knight's not on this list at all.
No, not at all.
Logan Paul's not on this list at all. Chad Gable's not on this list at all.
No. Okada is.
Jon Moxley, who has had 2 matches all year. He's had 1 more than CM Punk, might I add. CM Punk did a 2 million figure number, or was it? We did the numbers not long ago, right? When he was on Raw before he got hurt, he popped the viewership by 350,000 people. The other competition can't draw 700,000. And you're going to tell me that guy is number 10 on the list? All right. That's enough of that shit.
It's amazing.
You can't give me this list and not have Chad Gable, LA Knight, and Logan Paul on the list. All of those guys are a draw. They do good numbers. If not
Roman Reigns
is the
Rock,
biggest star.
The Rock was
just come on, man. And you can say whatever you want about The Rock not being a wrestler. He's had 1 less match than MJF has all year. 1 less match. So don't give me this shit.
Let's take a look at the tag teams, the tag team rankings.
Oh shit, we're going to do this one too?
Why not? We're here. Why not? We've got what time is it right now? We've got 1 minute SmackDown. Why don't we just let's go down real quick. Number 10, the Acclaimed.
DVR snack back down. DVR a little bit, be a little bit late. Just fast forward to commercials. You'll be all right. We appreciate y'all sticking this out with us tonight. The Acclaim what?
Number 10.
Okay.
House of Black, number 9. The Street Profits, number 8. So for some reason, they lumped in the women's tag champs too. What? Well, they're not tag champs anymore. They got women in this list too. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill at number 6.
Okay, that's odd.
A-Town Down Under.
Oh, kiss my ass!
Over Belair and Cargill. 4. I'll wait till you're done drinking. Nathan Frazier and Axiom. Who?
The air
I'm
conditioning
saying,
company?
I know who they are. Don will say who.
Are they the air conditioning company?
Frazier and Axiom. Yes.
Yes.
For your central cooling needs, call Frazier and Axiom. No, they're the NXT Tag Team Champions.
Okay.
Number 3, Finn Balor and JD McDonough.
Yeah, the guys that have had 5 matches all year together. Because it was Damian Priest and Finn Balor till recently.
Sure, and they just started teaming and they won the belt. FTR, number 2. FTR, who are out hurt right now.
Yes,
Dax Hartwood.
For a long time.
Dax Hardwood is hurt. He's got a hematoma on his back. He's got a he's got a cyst on his Twitter ovaries as well. Yes, he does. He's got an ovarian cyst, and he won't be back for a while. It's very. We've got him on the triple thick pads. So, and number 1, of course, everybody's favorite. Everybody's favorite. Everybody's favorite midget wrestlers, the Young Bucks.
Okay.
Folks, thanks for tuning in with us tonight. And if you're watching this a couple days later, appreciate you guys stopping by and checking us out. Please like and subscribe. We're at, what are we at, Don? 853?
Yeah, try to get to that 900 numbers next. We're trying to get there. Like and subscribe. Tell your mom and dad about it. Just log on to their phone, kids. Don't even ask for permission. Just log on to their phone and subscribe them. They don't even care. They don't know what's going on anyway.
Yeah,
I do
1-800 Okerlund. What was that WCW hotline number?
Yes.
Yeah, that was great. He was making all kinds of bank off of that. What was it? $10 a minute? Jeez,
something crazy, something insane. $10 for the first minute, $3.99 after that. What the hell?
Just absolutely
By the way,
unbelievable. I was going to say we're at 853 right now. We've got more viewers than we have subscribers for every video we do. So we know you're watching. We know people. Just hit the subscribe button, for Christ's sake. Even if you can't stand us, you don't have to watch the videos. Just tune in when we're, lambasting Tony Khan and Dynamite. So you can say, these guys are terrible. These sons of they're horrible.
Well, we're coming back Sunday. We're going to come back Sunday. Be ready.
Coming back Sunday with a pop-up podcast. We ought to copyright that name, Pop-Up Podcast. We should.
Well, I know a guy that would like to get in on our podcast if he could.
I know a guy who had a pop-up problem.
Next week, Gordon's only saying so long from the Sunshine State.